Howdy everybody, and welcome back to the Super Robot Wars Archives. My name is Austin, and today we're going to be playing some more Super Robot Wars R. We just finished up with our first foray into the normal timeline of this game. Got ourselves some more Gundam units from after War Gundam X. We defeated one of the the Frost brothers. That's that. I remember the last name. Shagia was one of the brothers. Also not the one we killed. That's neither here nor there. Today we're going to be getting into our first, full proper crossover mission. We're going to be seeing one of my favorite units in the game, and just across the series in general, just an absolute monster of a unit consistently. Before we get to that, just as a reminder, this project is mostly related to some documentation I've been working on, which you can find in the description for this video. So please go take a look there if you have not. If you already have been and you're hearing this for the 5th time now, I'm sorry. Thank you. I appreciate it. I just want to emphasize that this project, these videos, while important, are mostly here to give demonstrations for the things that I've been trying to capture and record. I think I am a better archivist than I am a internet personality. So I want you to see the best side of what it is I'm making. If you have any questions about those, you can also leave those in the comments, irrespective to what video they are a part of. I'll happily take a look at those too. So with that, let's get into today's episode. You'll see that our funds rank is our funds are just racking up. We're not spending those quite yet. And that's because I want to use them on the unit we're getting from this upcoming series. So, with that, we never actually equipped the part that we just got. We do want to toss that on somebody. We're going to put it on the Airmaster. It increases. Actually, we've not done any. I forgot to equip all of these. So, we're going to do this live. We are going to put both of the magnetic coatings on. They increase our mobility on a unit by 5 per equip. And that's going to be really relevant on the Airmaster. It was just shy of dodging a couple things, so rather potent. I want to give at least one Chub Hem armor to our Excellence right now. The Excellence unit we are using is among the tankiest of them, so we're going to influence those stats in the direction we like. I'm a little tempted to give it the extra range. Being stuck countering with just our 1600 weapon is not great. I think we are going to do that, and then the other Chobham armor could go to the Fredan. I know I have some other consumable parts, but I'm not going to bother equipping them. We probably don't need to use, this game is easy enough. You probably won't need to use them beyond this stage of the game. I also did notice that our turn count was at 33 for five scenarios, which is disappointingly high. I think it was that's 6 plus turns on each scenario. This is not meant to be an LTC in any way. I don't know what the LTC clears are, but I do value efficiency somewhat. I think every unit performs really well given enough time. So, putting some sort of stipulation or strain on units, I think it's much easier to have concrete discussions about their use. Oh man, they even get the best song. I know this is a very controversial opinion, but I like this Getter opening better. So, we have the Getter Robo. The Getter Robo is special in that it is actually 3 robots in one. It can transform on the map, just like how our other units were transforming between humanoid and airplane mode. This just changes back and forth between 3 different humanoids. We have one that specializes in water, the Getter Unit 3, one that specializes in evasiveness, and also... Okay, this will not go underground. Sometimes the Getter 2 can go underground. I thought this one could go underground. Maybe it's the upgrade for it. But still for evasiveness. And Getter 1 is sort of the all-arounder. it's the Getter. It's hard to figure out where to start. I have a lot of feelings about them. I won't like spend a ton of time talking about them because hopefully we're going to get to see them. But we have rather potent attacks we get to use immediately. A fun trick you can do with them also is these are different pilots each time. So like, well, you can't see it right now. Hold on. Maybe I'm gonna bring this point back up later. Here. Yeah, okay, we'll bring this point back up later. But there's a fun trick you can do with switching them around mid-fight without actually having to use them like on their turn. So here's the other thing. We also get multiple SP pools. So remember what I was talking about the other last episode with Noin and using Spirit? This would give 30 SP split in thirds, so 10, 10, and 10 to each of our pilots. But that is like a really big benefit. We're also seeing some new abilities. That's unfortunate that we don't have Wall quite yet. I don't know if we can sit here and take all 4 of these attacks, so I think I want to move back a little bit. Eventually the Getter will just be, you could just like throw the Getter in a direction and largely assume that direction is going to be cleared. But for right now, we're going to be a little bit more cautious without any upgrades. So let's see what we can do. You'll also notice that we only have 1 unit on the battlefield right now. The rest of the team will show up later. We don't need to clear this whole scenario with just the Getter. As much as I would love that. I do think these games are among the most enjoyable when they give you a very limited options. Just because it really makes you think and they really makes you strategize. Once we get up to like the 12 or 14 count, we can be like super sloppy with what we're gonna win. It does mean we end up wasting more turns, but like, it's... Yeah, so our attack was like half damage for them. For the ones that are moving, this is the other reason we wanted to move, because it's only 400 damage to us. We are seeing the potency of a super robot network. All of our other units have been so far from what is a real robot franchise, as marked in these games, typically being by more agile, being less defensive, and having attacks that are usually good, but don't really change much over the course of the game. They don't get access to a lot of attacks later, and they don't care about morale as much. Whereas super robots tend to be much less agile. They tend to want to tank things with their face. But care a lot more about morale and energy, where it might be turn after turn after turn that they need to get access to all of their attacks. They might come randomly. But the Getter is sort of an exception in that most of its attacks are available to it just immediately anyway. There's also a wide variety of Getters. Like, how each one works across different games is a lot more varied than, say, most of the Gundam units that, like, will have a medium-ranged attack that does a little damage, a one-ranged attack for their melee damage, and then a, like, 5-ranged attack for, like, the rifle. They all tend to work roughly the same with, like, slight number of tweaks. So we are going to sort of exhaust the Getter a little bit here, but that'll be fine. The loss of energy is, like, going to be, I think, the most dramatic of problems, but we will figure that out. I don't believe the Getter 1 has a small energy restore on it. I guess, despite what I said before about not caring about physical parts, we probably could have tossed propellant tanks onto the Fredan just to be able to fix this. So to be a little bit more reserved. We'll start using the ammo. But actually, I'll look at them again. None of these attacks cost nothing, though. All of these attacks require us to spend something. That's not going to be true for literally every Getter attack. I believe Getter 2 and 3 both each have one attack that has a no cost to it, but they generally tend to be slightly more costly units. Because of how much I like them, it's also one of the reasons why I value energy restores a lot higher than I think most comments do. Not from you all, just like in general about this game. There we go. There's the team. Okay. So we're gonna hopefully see like really potent applications of them later. I tend to be a big advocate for it. We also might see the first time our battleships, like battleship ability is going to come into play. I think I'm fine with that. We're going to, well, at the very least, we're going to move forward anyway. Hold on. Before I do that, I should consider all my options. So, yeah, here's the deal. Okay, so the Getter 2 does have 2 attacks we can use without spending anything. And do we have, we probably don't have enough. Oh, this even starts with, usually the Getter 3 has an attack that is the highest morale cost of all the Getters, but I forgot that the Neo Getter does not have the Daisetsuzan Orochi attack. I think we're better off in the 2. Can we? So we can sit there for a while and get some energy back. Okay, this yellow house is where Fa can reach to. We can't also get an attack off there though. Hidden away does not exist in this game, so we can't make an attack and then retreat. What if we? That's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4. That's the other deal too, is that a lot of our post range, or our post movement attacks are like medium range. We aren't stuck to just one range for post movement, but it's not a downside. After I just complained about having bad post movement attacks on the Gundam units last map. I think the difference being both that we have some amount of range, so we can still like participate in the fight and move an amount, and as we will see later on, having your best attack not be one range is really rather good when we're trying to surround muscles. I think I'm fine throwing this out here. Because everyone starts so far away, we're going to try and use like our only lethal action with some of these characters. And that just sort of like decides our turn for us. Like there's nothing else really productive for the Excellence to do, so like we're going to make this attack. Yeah, where he can get to everything. Can we pop him next? Can we still get there? And we still get there. I'm really tempted to be greedy and not use a focus. It's only a 50% chance to hit. I'm prioritizing the leftmost units more than the bottom units. Because, as usual, there's a second part to this, and we've got enemies coming over from the left side, but we're also going to have more enemies coming from the bottom. Get a minute. Okay, he can't do anything productive. She can't do anything productive, so let's just keep her back. I guess also, hold on, let's consider what we're doing here. They do have a multitude of post-movement options. The 1 to 5 range one is just like, it's like a non move to me. We can take this all day. But otherwise we're 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're hitting Excellence and back if we're not moving, and then if they're post movement, at this point they're probably gonna pick the Fredan again. I'm gonna start moving Roby away from this fight, just in anticipation of something coming down here and just getting him closer to the action. Oh, I did. That was a bad placement for Wiz, though. That does put him right next to where, or does put him like, on the tile that I wanted for to move the Methuselah to. Okay. If we're gonna be over here, actually, hold on. We don't have to guess. We can just test things. That's only 70. It's only 70 avoid, so I think we're going to go to the Getter 3, the much more defensive option. straight, we can heal. So if we need to block, we can. And then we will keep the Methu's back. Actually, let's just toss a flash on Fa right now. And we also got to remember that if we can get some of these things like really low, like for instance, if I can remember not to kill these two, I can leave these both to Fa, and then she can use Fortune to get the remaining kills on them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. Yeah. I do also always think everything is like crashing and freezing whenever the getter music starts up because of the like at the beginning of it. It's very scary. So this is turn 2, right? Yeah. And then on turn 4 is when the other enemies show up. What we got over here? These 4 will start moving during the enemy phase of next turn. And then these 2 will start moving once the other enemies on the bottom show up, and then this boss will start moving the turn after. This is one of our 2 bosses for this scenario. He does retreat. His part that he drops does increase critical hit chance. I also don't really care for that part so much. I think increasing your critical hit is fine, but it's only a factor of 25% more damage. I say only, that's like one of the biggest damage jumps you can get. But it's also not guaranteed. I'd much rather parts that both leave me safer to put my units like more exposed but next to support attackers, or movement to get access to right, we want to just like this, or give them movement to be able to be near their support attackers. And also, like, I think especially in Super Robot Wars, surviving is usually the most offensive thing you can do, because the like change in damage you're getting is not actually changing your math at all. If you are doing if you're doing 2,000 damage and 2,000 damage, or you are doing 2,500 damage and 2,500 damage, you are still killing a 4,000 HP unit the same, and you're still not killing this unit we're looking at right here in 2 turns either way. So you're getting closer, but being alive for another turn is usually more relevant because you get to then draw damage off of the support attacks also, or like reposition to a more relevant spot. If that makes sense, I hope I explained that well. And like I was kind of broken up by like being paused by the game, but I trust that makes sense. Okay, so speaking of putting things out of position, I think Fa is going to be so far out of position with this attack that we're probably going to need to kill the other 2 too, which is fine. I genuinely I can't remember the last time I've heard this music. It's a rare music that actually like opens and like begins an attack. It's not a ton of money we're getting from this, but it's 1,400 expo. I think we are going to toss this in the battleship just to get that energy restore and getting faster. I don't want to wait for it. So given that, we can actually get to a better position. We can go here. We can't quite send the getter off all by its lonesome to deal with the left side, where it's going to need some help, but it probably will need a lot. Like, I'll probably send it at the main character. And that'll be it. I much prefer Wits to get this, if he's going to stick around for a bit. It is a little unfortunate that we're probably not going to use a lot of the units we have right now. Not for lack of being good. Like, I do think you could be pretty happy taking Wits with you through the whole game. but just for the sake of like trying to get people to watch this show, this series, these YouTube videos, I think if you are not familiar with the series, you're probably going to mostly be drawn in by the promise of crossover. Maybe we'll send Amuro over here instead. Yeah, I'll send Amuro over here instead. I think that's going to work. It's going to make a little bit more sense, given the fact that, you know, we have sea in the water, and we're going to be fighting around the water a lot. And probably in the water if things go right. Yeah, so I think being drawn to this series, you're probably going to, like, have to find characters or series that you really care about being here. So I want to try and use the Gundams that I think a lot of people have like a connection to as their first Gundam. Okay, we have, see, look, I promised you Picard was going to be back. This was also the last time we're going to see him. We have basically the same units that we saw from the base last scenario. I believe we have one more of these Janices. But otherwise, we're basically looking at the same stuff. Rakan also does, there's not an extra R at the end of that. Again, does not retreat. He does have, he does have a repair kit on him too. Hold on, I got that one wrong. Let's update that and repair kit. We are going to, glad I saw that too. So if we're going to commence with his destruction, we're going to do what we kind of did last time, where we go all in, and once we start hitting him, we want to like try and finish him in a round. So we wanted Wits. We wanted Roy to be in this position so we could have some options on attacks. When do these start moving? The Zasa starts moving later, so let's just get the Janice down now. I do think, so I don't want you to like follow what I say word for word, not trusting your own instincts about things. That's still so little. Maybe we'll keep it in for one more turn. Yeah, we'll keep it in for one more turn. If you do tend to be a slower player, again, not there's anything wrong with that. If you know you're going to take more turns, having units that have really long range that you can just like let enemies come to you and just get ruined by being out of range is like it's certainly a feeling. It's a good time if that's like the sort of play style you like to adopt. We're going to be here. Actually, we don't have to guess. We have one we can look at. Their post movement is 1 to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We can put. This is gonna. Hold on, we're gonna do something a little weird. We're gonna get our battleship over here. This does 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is put us right in range of the Grandine. And we can then jettison the getter next turn more effectively. We do want to try and draw these units. We still want to scan? Yeah, alright. We want to try and draw these units into the water as much as possible to take advantage of the getter 3. That said, they do have a 5 ranged attack, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We won't get an attack off, but let's see if this gets them into the water because they know they could attack. Who else is hurt? That's the getter. It's just we're 1 movement off. This is why the boosters matter, but it's okay. Like the Ferdam is not actually hurt all that much. 1, 2, 3, 4. We could make this attack and then heal with the Methus. 1, 2, 3, 4 next to the. Yeah, I'm pro that. Oh yeah, as I promised. Let's first block this damage. As promised, we can take a look at these map attacks now. This takes 3 turns, and we are on turn 4. It takes 7 turns for this map attack to charge up. This takes 6 turns for this satellite cannon to charge up. Like, I will use it if we get the chance to, but it's so slow, and you only get one of them. And like, I guess I can't be too upset about one good attack. Oh, I didn't need to give myself the defense. The point was to get Spawn to heal. That's fine. But again, if you know you're going to be here for a while, like, if you know a scenario is going to take you 12 turns, and you can get 2 4,000 attacks off, like, maybe this unit, the value of this unit raises a lot more because of that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fucking just heal somebody else. Oh man, the Tauruses got done so dirty in this game. Indeed, are so much better. You get one that's a repairer and one that's a resupplier. Just considerably more useful. He's just Faw's never gonna get anything done. Just like this is like it. She really her only use is for staff botting. Okay, I remember we decided here for attacks though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so just do one attack, one below that. What's our attack range looking like? I don't think we can just also throw this in wholesale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. But we could. Let's try this. I don't mind this. If we have to start blocking, we can. This also gives us access to a lot of buildings we could be on next time. Based more on context than just like camping out right now. We do have the chop cam armor on, so we are somewhat tanky. Yeah, it's fine. If we need to start blocking, we can. I know we're pretty. I feel pretty confident that Verdan's gonna get attacked a couple times. We got 2 units we didn't move. Oh right, this still hasn't moved. I do also make liberal use of these menus. I think they're a very valuable tool. You should go through them whenever you can. And then the other unit that has not moved yet is the Getter. That's fine. Excellent. Oh, yes. Oh, boy. They're ruined now. Perfect. That's what we wanted. I guess also we've got Gundam units again, so we can just turn all the animations. That Chobham armor was doing work on the Excellence, but not on this one. Not at all. The battleships are just squishy, but like honestly, that's a good thing. I'm happy that there's some vulnerability. Oh, I did position this one. That was not. It's just excellent when I like do good counting one time, and then just forget why I planned the way that I did. The Airmaster was in the perfect position, and then the Taurus was not. Yes, we got Valor. Okay. Valor is a really huge deal. It, if you remember from when we were back in the future, it doubles damage. And having that for killing the leftmost boss, the boss for the Getter side of things, is just so valuable. It's like the only way we're going to potentially actually get that kill done. Okay. Let's get the Getter 3. So this is one of the reasons I wanted to be in the Getter 3. We'll have to look at this like post-combat, but a little damage that did. Okay, so let's see. I just turned this off because I forgot that I had it on. I didn't want it on. We're gonna turn it back on. Okay. Hopefully you can see my cursor. Yeah, there we go. So down here, this is our terrain advantages. And the Getter 3 has an A rating in water. That means it has it functions normally in water. A is neutral at 100%, and then B and C are 80 or 90 and 80% respectively. I'm pretty sure it was not 85 and 70. But either way, B and C are worse versions of it. This Super Robot Wars does not have an S rank. So while we have an A in water, and all of our attacks do decent, and all of our attacks also have an A in water, enemy units have a C in water, and their attacks do B or C in water. So we're also just getting like a flat benefit that they can never have while we're sitting in the water like this. Additionally, so like this attack also has like a line right here for in air. This means this attack can't even be used to attack something that's like flying. So they have to use missiles. Unfortunately, this has an A, so we can't like take advantage of that with Amuro and the Rigazi. But I kind of actually want to just get him out of the way now. I've never gotten all 4 of these units in the water before, and I don't want to waste this opportunity. They're all going to be stuck in here fighting a unit that takes like fractions of damage against them. So let's get Amuro back over here. And we can start chipping down these Bowus. I'm finding in general, as I've like played more video games, I think it's always been true a little bit, but like more so now than ever. I do really like games that have like exponential growth for the player, and I feel like this game is like very much a hallmark of that. I think we're just gonna leave. Hold on, I'll get back to that thought in a second. Post movement. 1, 2, 3. He can, no, we don't move this. I don't want him coming out of the water. Yeah, that's fine. We'll probably get an opportunity to use the EXP later. I do feel like Super Robot Wars games in general, but like this game especially, has this like really absurd exponential growth curve where we're like little chips. We just like keep whittling away at these enemies. And then later on in the game, we're gonna fly units in and then just like park them somewhere, and then enemy bases are gonna be explosion after explosion as they one-shot everything. We're still in position for this Janice, so let's use this positioning we got. I was a little off with where I positioned Wits, but that's fine. What are we looking at here? A 50% hit rate? Don't love that. That's a little bit more like it. Okay, so despite what I said about the repair kit, I think we can start doing this because there is a threshold that they will use the repair kit at, and this just isn't it. So if Rakarn attacks us this turn and we counterattack back, we'll do what? We did like 1400-ish, so that puts him to like 28-ish, right? Yeah. Another 1400 off of Wits, and then the big guns, and our main character being close means we could probably kill him next turn. Let's see what we can do about healing while we're 1 away. Maybe we won't end up using the other fortune. What are our healing options? I think I would rather use Pause than Noise. I think hers is more valuable turning into SP later for the boss kill. So we used a spirit called Trust, which can heal any unit on the map for 2,000 HP, 3,000 HP, it changes per game. 2,000 HP. We don't get experience for it, but it is just like a nice safeguard against things going wrong, like how they just did. We can get the X closer. Or 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, there's no matter what, we're gonna get attacked next turn. So by the Grand Dean, if we can't like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, stay away and be relevant. I am super underestimating how much damage I can do. I mean, all the better. Did we hit a Boo yet? I don't remember. We did. Great. Post movement 5. They will not be moving yet, so they just have range of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can. Let's try to dodge them. We can go here and start working on the Grand Dean. One thing about these games is that you have to use your spirits before combat. So if you wanted to try to do something like sneaky with your spirit, so like there, I would have liked to have attacked with Jared if he had gotten hit, healed with Thaw, and then put Persist on for like the enemy phase. But like, you just cannot do that. At least not in this game. There's only one game that's an exception. And it's the Wii game, the much maligned Wii game, though I love. I think Neo is actually very good. I would love to play it someday on the channel, but we'll see if we get there. Okay. I wanted to save the main character's movement for a bit in case we had enough range to, in case we were close enough to get healed by. I think the Grand Dean's the scariest, so let's start working on that some more, and everything else we can die on enemies. That's all of our units. We'll turn this on. So we would see the Getter 3 attack yet. I guess we haven't seen these. I think these are mecha bulls based on their look. We're also reaching the morale threshold. That's okay. Sorry, that's the other thing with super robots. Is there also is they frequently have morale thresholds where they will get new abilities too. So soon we're gonna have access to Open Get, which gives us a 25% chance to just dodge all attacks, irrespective of what's shown in the combat here. We're gonna be spending energy again, but that's fine. These won't last long. And then next turn we can get adjacent and we can start using our energy-less attack. It's a little bit less damaging, but we've got plenty of turns still because of how the rest of the gun units are. I do think this is 400 less damage, but it's getting as much energy. That is more efficient. Just wait until we can get some upgrades, then we'll be cruising. I think we're okay to take this hit on the Fredan. Quite possibly the last one we can take on it for the time being, but that's okay. Not who I thought we were going to be attacking, but I'm not going to worry too much about who's getting what kills here. We're just trying to get stuff off the board. Um, combat usually tends to auto-select for you the most damaging attack you can do. So every once in a while it doesn't. I think sometimes it like knows the calculus internally and says this attack would kill if it lands. But I like to check just to make sure. Okay, according to predictions. So he's got 2,700 left. So now is the turn we're gonna pull to try and get rid of him. So just go Wu in range. Let's do this first. Here's the other thing: is if we can, we want to try and kill as many enemy units as possible first. It gives all the rest of our units more morale. So I guess it gives him a little bit too. That is usually what my strat is to do that first. But actually, maybe that is not necessarily the best plan. So he also can't pull on the repair kit in the middle of our turn. Like, that has to be on his turn, so we don't have to worry about it this. Daniel. And we can also be pretty free with our attacks. Because he doesn't have a threshold to run away. So let's just do this. He doesn't even have potential, so he's just taking regular damage. Potential is a skill that a lot of pilots have, that as their HP gets lower, they'll take less damage. That solar panel is looking mighty juicy. We're going to be giving that to the getter fairly shortly. I'd much rather give the boss kill to our main character. Do we have... Oh. But oh man, it's actually really tempting to get the double EXP onto Jamil. No, because it's fine. We will still get enough XP from just doing a regular kill. We don't need him to be a high level, we just need to get his kill count somewhat up there. He's got 4 already, and he's been around for 2 scenarios, that should be fine. We also have 3 range, so we're gonna sit back a little bit more just to get us closer to the boss fight if we need to. We got both that repair kit and that solar panel. Absolutely excellent. Thok can come in here and heal. We do still need to use focus. That's 6 range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? Okay. Just making sure we're still in range of the Gradine if it attacks us during enemy phase. Do we want to give that to somebody else? Maybe we want to give that to Jared. Let's give that to Jared. We do want to try and get his morale up if we can try and use the satellite cannon. If we can get satellite cannon into the Getter 1 attack, I think that might be our ticket to killing the boss. Or into oh no, but Jared doesn't have the support attack, so we can't like use the main. We'd have to use Jared and then the main character, but the Valor from the main character would not carry over. Maybe he won't participate, or maybe he's going to participate in the most like. Maybe he'll soften. Maybe he'll soften the boss a little bit next attack. We still get a focus off of this, and I think this is the turn to use it. Totally fine. We're totally fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. Cool. And then we just need to move here. This is exactly where I want to be. So we can start using this energyless attack. I don't think Guy is going to be using anything else, so let's use these. Let's use this XP booster. We can fade on attack. That won't matter. We can ignore the special defense the special defense abilities. But nothing for right now. I think we're gonna hit one of the ones that hasn't been damaged yet. Yeah, because then on enemy phase we can kill them. It's like so hard to read on the second month of the song. Whenever I need to like get energized or something, if I'm going for a walk or like I've got like a presentation, I need to give this the song I listen to. Okay, we are going to block here because if you saw that red arrow, that means we are going to get support attack. So let's try and prevent that. I also have a sneaking suspicion. Oh, see, this is the open get. I didn't activate this at all. I didn't select anything for this. It's a 25% chance to ignore the incoming attack. I have a sneaking suspicion that the turtle is probably actually pretty good underwater. I'll look at his stats afterwards. So good. The Getter 2 can do that 2 times. It has its own unique version of it. Oh, maybe Open Get is 50. I think Open Get might be 50%. The Getter Neo Getter Vision is 25%. You know, no, we will attack back. If we get low enough, we do have an ability on the main pilot. I can't think of his name right now. That can full heal, so we might use that. I gotta learn to stop lighting up for those map attacks. It is hard, though. I think that's why it isn't. Okay. Yeah. We can use this, and we're good as new. We don't get an energy back, but yeah, they are good in the water. That's bummer, but that's fine. They've got pretty far range. How is he in the water? He's a B in the water. That's pretty free. Okay, let's get him. He's gonna go swimming. I want to, if I can, drag these guys down a little further. Get them closer to where the rest of our units can start jumping in. We want to leave as little as possible down here to fight these Grandines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We might just leave Amuro here again. As everyone is retreating. I think that's going to be the plan. I don't want to lose the turn. So we're also going to use, this is our first time, I think, using Excel. It gives us +3 movement for the turn. Cool. Actually, what do our attacks look like? Do we have good... We do have decent attacks into the water. I wanted to check because the Leopard does get an upgrade pack later that does make it very proficient in the water, but I feel like it's going to have bad ending a little bit beforehand. That didn't count. That was not That wasn't half, so we can designate this strategy. Great. Let's just get Jared full out of here. Main character needs to go too. We are atrocious in the water. Yeah, we're only good on that. The way they handle that for the main character to like give them a unique like unit identity is to give them a different unit for each each thing you want to be doing. And turns out the last one you get is if you just want to win combat. My favorite flavor. There's air, land, sea, space, long range, and winning combat. It's a good terrain to have, I might say. Given how things are going, we might end up parking this in the battlefield one more time before the scenario is done. Which is not the worst thing. I just can't think of the last time I've actually, like, killed this boss. He pretty much always runs away. I did have to, like, force reset a number of times in order to, like, actually get the stats on what's happening with him. So here's also the other deal, is we can turn into the two, get out of the water, and just get so far away so quickly. No one's going to be in range of us this turn, so we have a turn to prepare. Both of them dead. We're not going to need to do this like weird song and dance with the getter. Really very much after this scenario. Given the upgrades we're going to use it. This, remember, I had said I was waiting for a unit to arrive. This was the unit. Okay, what does the satellite count? It does not hit the water, so we do need him to come out of the water for that to be right. He's got a 5 range post movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can attack. I think we're just gonna do this. Let's just start lobbing shots at him. It's not a lot of damage, but it's something. Do we have... We can... I'm sure we can take one shot off of the boss. And that will still get him to go full move. Yeah, man, that's what I figured was going to happen, which is fine. We do want him to come out of the water at some point. Though I'm hoping he naturally wants to because he has better terrain. There, anyway. Right, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, let's just back everybody up. Say was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think he just can move exactly back. Perfect. Who needs healing? Probably just the Fredan again. Just constantly taking a beating. And then let's get Amuro up and out. But I don't want him close enough that the boss is going to, like, potentially try and go for him. Just close enough that we can start attacking the Mobas next turn. Yeah, that's fine. Great. Oh, I could have planned that one turn a little better. Because we are leaving the battleship, we are unable to change forms. And we can't use any of our spirits either. So if we want to say go this turn, we can. but we're you know what, I think we're gonna try it. What's the worst that happens? We're gonna debuff him as much as we can first. Great. What else we got access to? We only got 2 more of those. That's not actually helping that much. Okay, I think we'll figure that out as we go. Does Amuro does have Valor now. Alright, so our threshold of interest at this point is, oh, we're definitely getting him. What fibs am I telling you all? Our threshold of interest is 5,400 HP. So we have an attack or 2 more while we can still be safe. I think using the satellite cannon is like actually risky at this point. I know what I complained about it before. The problem is not that it doesn't do damage. It really does do damage. It's the consistency with which it does damage. He does have level 4 potential. I probably should have used this first. It's just for... oh, boy. I don't want to put him over the edge. I'm not going to risk it. We do one more here. Focus, try and give ourselves some survivability. Just the best damage we can. Let's take a look at where we are. We can do 2,000. We can do 1,700 more before we get into risky business. Do we wait another turn? We might wait another turn just to guarantee it. He can't really heal himself. I think we're going to wait another turn. I think that's the safest choice. That Valor's maybe a little preemptive then. He doesn't... I don't think he's going to attack the main character, though. If he doesn't attack the main character, it will not get used. And then we can move the main character in, and then have Fiona combo attack, or support attack off of Wits. So we can land that. Let's try it. And then just make sure we turn that support attack. Totally fine. Never better. We get 900 more. I think that's too risky. We know that she can do that again, so we're going to save her for next turn then. To be the one to initiate that critical threshold. And then we're gonna leave. Yeah, perfect. I wanted to leave the X where it was in hopes of getting that MOBA out of the water so we can at least show off the satellite cannon next turn. We're going to try and dodge. So we're going to get a support attack, or a support defense. We're going to give it off of the excellence. We want to dodge here instead of blocking, because no matter what, she's never going to block. Great. So there's no reason to ever like try and reduce damage again. So let's show this off first, because it's cool. I don't think we're going to need the support attack, but just in case. Oh, no! Okay, hopefully this kills, because I'm wasting the support attack off of Wits. 4,000 damage better come through for me. I mean, it is a big heck off. You can't be that disappointed. Oh, just die. Okay, we'll figure it out. Oh man, it's really tempting. I have a speed up button on this. It's really tempting to use it. The delay between when things happen is so long. Oh man. Okay. What we got? Okay, we can still support attack off of the leopard, which is, I think, still good enough. Okay, so we're gonna heal here, and then we can accuracy again, and then turn that support attack off again to get him just in critical range. And yeah, great. We are 200 points shy. Again, and basically as close as we can possibly get it without being. So let's get wits over here. Let's get that over here to give as many rivalry bonuses as possible. And let's hope that we have a rivalry bonus with... Nope, we don't have one with That's okay. It's worth trying. Alright, this is our best shot at it. Like I said before, we still retained the Valor double damage from last year when I used the preemptive. We're gonna get close, I think. Yeah. But we did need that support attack, though. It could have been anybody, but we did need that support attack. General Bat is Sabuki. I think he's, like, right properly the first tough boss. Like, Char can retreat, and you can get him to that threshold really easily. But you can get him to that threshold really easily. Like, he is dodgy, but not so dodgy that, like, one shot could clip him and just, like, send him into retreat right away. Or like General Bat is like doing like over half your HP in one attack. Like that's absolutely bonkers. Perfect. Nice and clean. And excellent. Okay, great. I couldn't remember if it was this level or the next one, but we did get fortune on Roy B. So now he can also be picking off enemies and getting credits. It does mean we have to like trade that back and forth between whether we're going to use Daunt or not, but we are going to start encountering some scenarios where we have fewer relevant bosses we need to Daunt. I believe this upcoming one is a good example of that. I don't recall. I think Mega Morga Edwin both doesn't retreat and does not have a ton of HP in our defensive skills. We're also getting a ton of dialogue because we're getting all of the characters from the other route joining us now. So this is the end of the route split. We now return to the unified timeline. So we did not choose the Nadeshiko timeline, and all the Nadeshiko characters are joining us now. They also have a super robot similar to our Getter in the form of the Daitarn, which I think is also an excellent unit. But I don't know if we're going to use it in this scenario. There was a little like entry box menu there that was just naming our group. I just used the default name because it doesn't matter. It just changes the text in dialogue. But we're skipping all that anyway, so that's fine. We have 153,000 credits funds to work with. So I'm going to be figuring that out off camera, how we're going to be putting that into the Getter. I'm going to put basically as much of it into it as I can. We also actually can do this right now because we're talking about it. I did get that solar panel from killing one of those bosses, from killing the Dryson, and that gives us 10% energy back every turn. So like that's really relevant on the Getter. So I know that's going there. Let's put that there right now. Otherwise, we'll take a look at that next scenario. we'll also go over some units then. We're gonna have to deploy some of them in the upcoming scenario. But actually, no. We'll look at the non Nadeshko ones now, because we're also gonna have 5 units to look at next, 6 units to look at next scenario. This game is like really front-ended in terms of when you get units. You get so many things. Okay, so this is the Daitarn. It's another super robot, big tanky boy. He has 2 other forms, the Dai Jet and the Dai Tank. This unit only has 1 pilot though. I think it's like maybe one of the best units in the game. It comes with like built-in like really heavy defense. It has a similar spread as to how the Getters do, where it has like ground, water, and air prioritization covered. Really high defense. Banjo is the name of the pilot. Typically, super robots have multiple pilots with them. Because he doesn't, they just gave him a higher SP pool to sort of make up for that, and he has a lot of spirits that you want to use and gets them really early. Also, just a lot of very good attacks. They're harder to look at in this menu, but he's got a really potent one-ranged attack that doesn't require anything. It's going to be his sort of like default attack. We also got the Gear Fighter Dendo. I really want to like this unit. It has so many different forms. We don't have all of them right now. We just have the Unicorn Drill, but its different forms are all the different weapons it can gain. They give it 2 to 3 different attacks and also a ability bonus. So like, see my mouse here. There we go. This ability, it's a firewall. Yeah, firewall. Decreases damage a little bit, but like that's it. Like it's really underwhelming compared to like what it could be. I just think all the differences that it gains are so minuscule by comparison, that it just never really feels that worth it to use. Like its last form is absolutely cracked in half, but like they give you the last form for it, like as a way to be like, if you didn't invest correctly earlier in the game, if you like, you can't lose units in this, but if you like if you squandered all of your money, you're not using it anymore, here is the unit that can beat the game for you. But we'll talk about when we get to the last scenario. But you'll notice also that he has 5,000, like 5,300 HP. The Daitarn has more HP, more defense, more movement. It's just like it's so rough. It's another one of these units that also has 1 attack. Its like best attack uses all of your remaining energy to do a lot more damage. It also can't gain energy normally. It needs support units to give it energy back. It's just an absolute mess. Let's see, is there anything else new that we got? I don't think so. Yeah, there's... oh, I forgot that we got Vega. I do really like Vega. I think we get her because of the unification. I don't think she's on the regular Nadeshko side. She's also from the Gear Fighter Dendo universe. She's the only super small unit you're going to get. I had a ton of fun playing with her the first time I played this game. Because she's so small, she's really dodgy. She starts with 120 mobility, where other units like the Ice Navalises are like decently dodgy units. We'll talk about them more later, but it has 100. This has 100 mobility. That is like a decently dodgy unit. The Valkyrie has 120, and Vega, the pilot, is also not nothing in terms of stats. You can very quickly hit a 0% hit rate on enemy attacks with this unit. It doesn't do a ton because of that for balancing reasons, but it's definitely like a fun gimmicky unit. We might use it a little bit. I'm trying to use it as an excuse to use units I did not use in my previous playthroughs that much too. There is a whole slew of units we did not talk about here, but we'll see them on the battlefield. We're probably not going to use them much during the playthrough, so I don't want to spend a ton of time on them. But we'll see them in action, kind of. We can talk about them then. Well, great, everyone. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you sticking around. If you have any questions, as usual, I'll talk to you in the comments. I think we're like getting into the spot now where we have enough units where we can start debating like who are we bringing. Like we are now going to have to start not choosing some units, and I think that's like a fun discussion. Like who do we get to slot into? I mean, like this whole scenario I was talking about, like who are we taking into later parts of the game? Like who are we going to keep using? We now get to like start making those calls because we get to like start keeping things, and I think that's fun. If anyone's played this game before, like I would love to hear your experiences, like what units you used if you had troubles with scenarios, if you feel like I'm like on the slower side, on the faster side of things. Just very curious what you have to say. I think that'll wrap it up for today. I'm gonna go figure out some numbers about how we're spending these credits, and I will meet you back here for scenario 7. Our first of the unified stages. So look forward to that, and I will see you then. Goodbye, everyone.